so many moments in that second one that it's just this bigger and meaner shark. I just really love so many moments of Jaws 2.
I would say Jaws 2 is the greatest shark film that I have entirely forgotten. Every aspect of.
So you're saying that Jaws 3 is better than Jaws 2?
I'm saying I haven't seen Jaws 3 or 4, or in fact many other shark films.
And you don't
Jaws
need
3,
to.
Jaws 3, it's an amazing climax where the shark's coming as so slowly.
It takes it's minutes. You're just sitting there watching the shark come towards his glass. It's beautiful.
I think that was when you had Nick Rehak on, and he was talking about the shark coming up at the glass. I'm sure it's Jaws 3 he was talking about. Because the only other shark movie I could think of where a shark comes at the glass is in The Meg, which is a whole other obsession. I love the Meg books.
Also, sharks in Sweden, that happens too.
Yes, who could forget sharks in Sweden?
Yeah, so that's a good one. It happens in there. Can I ask you guys a question? What do y'all think about Carter Blake's blue shirt in this scene?
It certainly helps this scene become more blue, which is something I've been trying to keep track of. To try and find the deepest, bluest scene, and Carter's shirt, as indeed Jim's blue shirt and Russell's blue jacket, they all add to the blueness of the scene. But I don't know why he's doing it up in one scene and then it's barely, he's not really doing much of it up. It's still very open later in the scene. He wants to be one button warmer. He's going up the stairs.
Why is everyone smoking cigars?
They're outside.
It's just like product placement. I know it's outside, but it's like everyone's smoking cigars, and you see Russell walk over to Jan and Jim, and he's handing out cigars. And I mean, obviously Jim's smoking cigars because he's Swedish and they love his smoke, but Jan's also smoking cigars, and it's all like, you're not really celebrating anything. Like, you would celebrate the experiment going well. That would be a cigar moment, not.
Well, it's Susan's birthday. They're celebrating that, and you get the feeling that Russell he likes to throw his money around. He likes to show how important he is, and so if these are probably quite expensive cigars.
Oh yeah, they definitely are, because the thickness of them, it's not like those thin cigars that you see in your newspaper shop. These are like proper, Havana jobs.
So I just feel like he's like, I have money here, smoke this thing.
This place is going to smell real classy.
Vodka, straight.
Finlandia vodka. So another Rennie Harlin staple. Just getting some more Finland in there somewhere.
Oh, I love it. I didn't see any bourbon on that bar, did y'all?
All I saw was the vodka, because their product placement of Finlandia, and then Coca-Cola is on the table.
What was the deal with them making Preacher run the bar when he basically has one drink he can offer them? It's so like,
there's like 8 people. Can they not sort themselves out drink-wise?
But then again, you have that really weird conversation between Preacher and Russell, where he talks obviously about Russell being trapped on the mountain, and they have this like throwaway joke, and then he ends with this really snarky like, "In that right, brother?"
Leave that to the white folks, brother.
And it's sort of like, well, this conversation suddenly shifted, and there's no reason for him to particularly hate Russell. I mean, all the guy's done is compliment his cooking, unless he's like, he doesn't take compliments well.
Oh, he knows the cooking was bad, so this guy's lying to him. Preacher's a terrible cook.
That's why I love Scoggins so much. Scoggins tells him the truth.
Yeah.
Wait, that's interesting. Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, I've listened to other podcasts before, because I'm in such a bubble with this movie where I'm in such an echo chamber, and my latitudes of rejection are so high when I hear people saying bad things about it. But I do recognize that Samuel Jackson's character, Russell Franklin, it kind of makes sense that he's there. I mean, your shark leaped over a fence, attacked some teenagers, and you have $200 million involved. It's not like he's breathing over their necks all the time. It's like, I need it quicker. Like, give it to me now. Like, I'm bumping you ahead 3 years to now. It's legit that he's there. So
it definitely makes sense for him to be there, because he's sort of like, as you said, he's invested money in this, and basically he's, just checking on his investment, and at the same time he just happens to coincide with them, delivering the results. So it's all goes hand in hand. And I was surprised that for a money man, he's so sort of laid back. He's so happy to, just sit there and observe, go to this like surprise birthday party. It seems like a more down to earth sort of guy than you would expect from a money man who, when things start going south, you'd expect he's like the first one out there. He wants like his private chopper to like appear from nowhere or something, or he'd be like those guys in Dante's Peak who are trying to take the helicopter off the mountain. That's what I expect him to do, but he's not. He's team player all the way through. He even gives us that staring speech, which I think if anyone else had delivered it, it wouldn't have worked. But because it's Samuel Jackson, he gets the sort of leeway that most actors dream of.
I just had a thought. So the bird is mean to Preacher, and Preacher loves the bird. Scoggins is always busting his chops. He loves Scoggins. When Russell comes at him being nice, he kind of reacts strongly to it.
What do you think of Preacher, Kim?
Preacher is fine. But no, I mean, like the whole thing you guys are saying, I don't really feel like, for one, I don't think that Russell is not welcome on the boat. And as for Preacher, I think that, like the reason that he's not happy with Russell is not that like related to him breathing down their necks or being there or being nice to him or anything. I really think it's just that he's not like he's not into him because of the fact that he does like he goes on the mountain and he does the hiking or something, and then it's like he goes against God. And I feel like this movie has a lot of moments where we talk about God, and it's really related to the fact that they're doing these experiments, which are like you're trying to play God. So you're going against God in that sense, right? And then when he says it, I feel like it's just like he disapproves of that person and his life choices. Like, I guess just because he can do it, he goes and does something which is, I don't know, daring, or maybe, I don't know. I don't know how to, I feel like it's just, he's just unhappy about this person, whereas everybody else seems to be fine with Russell. Like, they're trying to, welcome him and let him see his facility and what's going on and all that stuff.
Oh, I see it. That's good. I mean, no, yeah, there's some dynamics there that they just threw in. I guess that makes it more interesting for sure.
So one of the more famous myths proposed in this scene is that sharks don't get cancer. Sharks don't get cancer or go blind or show any loss of brain activity as they age. This isn't true.
Well, 47 meters down uncaged will back up on that can't go blind because they are blind. So...
Well, I didn't look into that bit, but the cancer part, since this film has come out, and in fact 150 years before this film did come out, scientists knew that sharks cause cancer. It turns out that the myth that they couldn't get cancer was perpetuated by people who sold shark cartilage as a cancer treatment. So it's the snake oil salesman kind of thing. Sharks, unfortunately, can get cancer, but mole rats can't. Or at least to a much lesser extent. So, could we see another version of Deep Blue Sea where instead of 3 giant sharks, it's 3 giant naked mole rats?
It's like The Descent all over again.
Or the killer voles.
Just imagine, the naked mole rat with those giant teeth, but increase it to the size of a caravan.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously do it with the killer voles, so I can't see why. I mean, you could make them supersized like Night of the Lepus.
Yeah. Whatever the Latin for naked mole rat is.
That's terrifying.
Right. More terrifying than giant sharks? I think so.
I think that's the thing with mole rats, because it's just the big teeth at the front, where, I mean, with a shark, it's more of a blender effect, isn't it? Because it's rows and rows of teeth.
It'd be Night of the Nudus for naked mole rat.
Jeez Louise, this is horrifying.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome. Well, this is Kim's first horror film, so we've got to keep it up as being a horror film. I don't think I've ever watched Deep Blue Sea as being a horror film. For me, it's just been a fun creature feature, but I can see how it would be.
Yeah, but I mean, when back in the days, I didn't know how to separate all these things. I only started doing movies really like deep into movies like that in 2012 when I started the blog. So it wasn't like, I was analyzing film forever. Back then it wasn't the same thing, obviously.
The first horror film I watched was The Shining. I was 15. I didn't watch another horror film for like a decade because it traumatized me. So
Ernest Scared Stupid wrecked my life in 91 when I was 9 years old.
It's all about Trantor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That troll is terrifying. Imagine that troll being genetically modified.
I only know that troll's name because of you, Mark.
Now, to be fair, there's this in the commentary, Rennie Harlan does say that they try to keep it as accurate as possible, like getting the Mako sharks, but they did embellish a lot in here. And he admits to it. So, I mean, I know she makes that speech. It's not true, but at least, I don't know, they tried to ground it in something a little bit. But
I have no problem with it. In the world of this film, sharks can't get cancer. It's in the world of this film, Mika Hakkinen won the Formula One at a different time of the year. It's fine. In the rules set up of the film, it's fine. I just have to clarify for the listeners that yes, we know they can get cancer. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
And I feel bad for the night shoots in this. So they had to do. So normally it's really hot out there where they shot like Rosarita, Baja area. But they're like, I've done night shoots before, and they're miserable. They suck the life out of you. And I guess the temperature dropped big time. Not like big time, but it got down in the 60s and 50s. And I guess everyone was freezing during this scene.
Not Samuel L. Jackson. He kept on his jacket and his jumper and his shirt. Yeah, he's got his layers on. I like his description of the other people dancing as sleeveless sexpots. Because they were just
love that.
wearing skimpier clothes. And he's like, I'm here in all my layers. Haha.
I do like how they practically lit this scene, though. I'm not saying it's Roger Deakins-esque, but they did a good job by including the lights in there for the birthday party to make
and the flares.
The flares. Yeah. They did a really good job of practically lighting this, so there wasn't just a light source in the background that you just absolutely hate. Because I mean, the outside lights are on. You have the nice string of lights. Then later on, they're kind of walking by the boat, the light lit in the background. So like once again, like it just shows that Rennie Harlan and the DP, like these. They shot a good-looking little movie here.
And Ida Totoro is really gung-ho with those flares. She sets off 4 of them. And she launches 2 as Susan comes out, and then as soon as she turns around for the surprise, 2 more go off. I don't know if that's different flare guns, or she reloaded them, or she just likes setting off flares. Maybe that's why they had problems later on, because they had no more flare guns left. But when everyone shouts surprise, everyone looks happy, apart from Jim immediately turns around to go back and get a drink. And Preacher just looks bored because he knows like I'm gonna go back and stand at the bar for the rest of the evening. Everyone here is I'm the only one working here.
I want to know where that bar setup came, because it's not like a makeshift bar. They've got like a real nice carved bar situation going on there, and it seems like they got proper setup. So it doesn't seem like this is the first time they've had parties on there.
There's like alfresco seating and everything. Yeah.
Tablecloths and all the stuff on top of it. Preacher has to set all that up too.
Yeah, he's got to clean all that later. Just him and the bird loading the dishwasher.
That's why he's grumpy.
Yeah.
All right, and also one thing that happens in this, I want to get y'all's thoughts. So in the deleted scene, you have Susan McAllister making a speech about how she runs everybody hard. She's apologizing for the next time. She respects all their work, and then she says Preacher makes good cake. But I think it was smart to cut that out because. Like you said, it humanizes her too much. And then Jim makes that statement. Do you think that was wise to take that out for her character?
I don't know. I don't think the scene was really that necessary. Like, when we look at it now as a deleted scene, it adds context to her character that she, like you said, it humanizes her. But is that what you want, though? I mean, I don't know if that's what you want. Like, if that's what they're looking for.
I feel like she's been humanized enough in the second scene where she gives her Alzheimer's speech to Russell and Ronnie Cox in the office. That's enough to kind of establish her motivation as a character. Like she's trying to do the right thing, like so many villains do in films. So we don't. This scene, if it is like a 3-minute deleted scene, all from the party, which would make the party like 8 minutes long. And it's purely just to establish the relationships between everyone here. And just add another 3 minutes would just really slow everything down, I think. We don't need it. This film is a perfect length. It's 100 minutes long. All films should be 100 minutes long. And, like,
I agree.
Yeah.
And there's so little chaff on
That's coming out of a season of David Fincher. I love Fincher, but I never realized his movies were that long until we started doing this season.
Oh yeah, he's got some long ones.
Can I ask you a question? When you put in a DVD or when you start something on VOD and you see it's 90 minutes, how happy are you?
Oh, so happy.
Oh, so happy, yeah.
That time just flies by now, especially since everything's like 3 hours long. And I don't need 3 hours of superhero antics, because essentially when it comes to Marvel movies, I'm just being sold the same movie over and over again anyway. So to see another 3 hours of this thing that I watched like last year is just never good. So the fact that when you get something that's like 90 minutes, it just feels like such a breeze. It's like watching TV.
On the Lambcast, we just did a Christopher Nolan look back, and I love Interstellar. It doesn't need to be 2 hours and 45 minutes, but when I put in Following, and it crept in at 69 minutes. Oh, yeah, that was good. That was a good time.
Perfect. Yeah. Especially when it's like, so I do a lot of movies for the podcast or just for research, and I see 90 minutes and it makes me so happy. Oh, it's good. But I could do my 4-hour cut of this, no problem. Do you guys want me to kind of break it down, do a script reading for you right now?
I think not right now. Not right. I think it should be its own separate show. Do the whole like we need